Good afternoon. My name is Amy Gill, your pharmacist that cares. Today, I want to talk about something that we all want to do, and that is to age gracefully. And I'm not just talking about the way you look, I'm talking about your level of activity and how you are going to go into those later years in your life. Are you going to be prepared and as active as you are in your 20s, as you are in your 60s? Things are going to change, but there is no reason why we can't all age gracefully with a few useful tips that we can all do. These are easy things, but it is something that we have to do consistently. Because remember, over time, things that are done consistently are going to compound, whether good or bad. So it's time to start doing those good things. So later on, we can still get jump on and off the floor with our kids and our grandkids. We can bike rides, those hikes, and all those adventurous things that we want to do. But in order to do that, we definitely need to age gracefully. Let's think about a few sports figures, right? So what about LeBron James? He's not a spring chicken to be doing what he's still doing. But how is he? Because he takes care of his body. What about my favorite Cardinal players, Yadier Molina or Wainwright? Because they are pushing 40, okay? And they are still doing these things. Why? Because they are taking care of their bodies. So there's a lot of things that I'm going to talk about when it comes to aging gracefully. The first thing most people are going to think about is their skin, right? So your skincare is very important to aging gracefully. One thing that you must do is wear sunscreen. I guarantee you know several people who are older, even in their 60s and 70s, that said, boy, I wish when I was younger, I would have worn sunscreen. There's all kinds of things. And I'm not, I mean, of course, skin cancer is something we think about, but even the sunspots, the age spots that happen, those are all things that you need to think about at an early age before we even get to that point. There are things we can do. So when you choose your sunscreen, yes, you can go if you want 100 SPF, but it's really not going to matter if you choose that. The main thing with your sunscreen is that you remember to reapply it. How many times do we put it on before we go out to the beach or before we got to the pool, hours later, and we forget to reapply it, right? Hours go by, we're still out there. It's not going to work all day, right? You must remember to reapply it. But when you're choosing your sunscreen, besides, of course, remembering to reapply it, you need to look at what's in it because there are a lot of ingredients that can clog your pores. And if you're putting that on there, especially if you're somebody that's outside, that plays sports that's outside, if you like to go to the beach, if you want to surf, if you're a swimmer and you're going to be outside, you really need to pay attention to what ingredients are in there because you really can be doing your skin harm as well and causing a lot of breakouts and a lot of other skin issues that can happen. Now, hydration is absolutely key to your skin's health and the aging process. We need to keep our skin moist. That is key. So I'm not talking about just drinking water because that you need to do. Your skin needs that. Just like your plants need water, your flowers need water, your skin to stay healthy needs water. So make sure you do that. But you need to make sure when you are choosing products that you're putting on your skin, whether it's things you're washing your face with, whether it's your anti-aging skincare line, your makeup, lotions, any of those kinds of things, you need to make sure water is a main ingredient in that because that is what's going to hydrate your skin. Extremely key. You want to avoid things that have mineral oil. You want to avoid things that have petrolatum in them. And you want to avoid things that have a lot of alcohol in them. Why do you want to look for these things? Mineral oil is really just highly refined crude oil. It's not good for your skin. I've done this before and it is very kind of difficult to do on here, but if we were in person, I challenge you to do this if you've got happen to have any mineral oil at home. Get a couple bowls, put water in one and put a little bit of mineral oil in the other. Put a Ritz cracker or saltine or whatever kind of cracker you have at home. Put one in each. Wait just a couple minutes and see what happens. The one with the water, you can barely pull out because it's so moist, it's falling apart because the water has just completely penetrated that cracker. The one that's sitting in mineral oil, You could actually hear, even on the screen, you could hear it knocking on the bottom of the bowl. Why? Because it sucked all that little bit of moisture that's in a cracker out. And if you leave it for hours, it almost becomes like hard plastic. So if you have products you're using on your skin, I mean, even your hands, let's be your face, but even your hands that have mineral oil as a main ingredient, look what that is doing to your skin. It is sucking out any bit of moisture. Why do you think you have to keep applying these products over and over and over, and the lotions don't work and the lip balms don't work? It's because it has the mineral oil and the petrolatum. Petrolatum actually acts like a plastic wrap for your skin. Again, nothing that you're exposed to, all those bad things, nothing's getting out and the good things aren't getting in. So those are two things you need to watch for. Now, a lot of products, including lotions, will have a little bit of alcohol. Otherwise, it could not be the consistency of a lotion. But you don't need 6 kinds of alcohol in your lotions. What is that doing? You're using it over and over and over because it's actually drying out your skin. It might feel good for the first few seconds you put it on. 5 minutes later, you're like, oh, why are my hands white and chapped again? Because it's not good lotion, because it has all those alcohols in there. It surprises me so much when I flip over and look at the ingredients. There's even an alcohol in many lotions that is what we use at the pharmacy to mix up an acne medication. So if we're using any acne medication and it's drying up those pimples, what do you think it's doing to your hands, your face, anywhere that you're putting this at? So please, please, please avoid products that have those 3 ingredients in there. Now, besides taking care of your skin in the aging process, what else do we need to do? We need to exercise. That is going to keep us youthful. Why? Because we are going to keep moving around. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it, right? If you don't use things, what happens? They start breaking down. If you don't maintain things in your house, what happens? Things start breaking down. If you don't exercise, you're not using your body, what happens? Things start breaking down, right? So it is so important that we continue to exercise. Just like these players that I was talking about, how do you think they keep going? Because they keep exercising. It is so key. So please keep moving. Even if it's for 10 or 15 minutes a day, find that time and keep moving. It is important, and you will thank me 20, 30, 40 years down the road that you did. Now, diet. We can't talk about anti-aging if we're not going to talk about your diet. So what are we looking at here? We need to stay away from those processed foods. Again, shop the perimeter of the store, you guys. You want products that are going to go bad in just a few days because they're not full of those chemicals that your body cannot process. When you don't have a healthy gut, what happens? It's going to come out. It's going to show on your skin. You need to watch what you're eating. You need to avoid things with refined sugars, unhealthy fats, lots of salt, and all those processed things have so much sodium in them. And what is that going to do? That's going to shoot your blood pressure up. Then what's going to happen when you eat those products all the time? You're going to have to come see me at the pharmacy and get blood pressure medication. Nobody wants things like that. It is so important that we do not do that, because that sodium over time, exactly, it's going to cause so many other issues. Now, we need to talk about your mental health. You can tell on people's faces when they are stressed. And again, if this goes day after day after day, it's going to compound. Think of people in big positions. Think of the president. Think of the first day that you see any president take office, and then 2 years down the road, 4 years down the road, they have aged so much. This is because of all the stressors that they have put on them. And even though we might not be the president of the United States, we have all kinds of stressors that are put on ourselves all day long with our daily life. So how are you going to help manage those stresses and not let them help you age quicker than what you should? Well, first off, you need to slow down. Enjoy life. Enjoy those minutes. Yes, we've all got so much to do. I know I am always running here and there, but we do need to slow down and enjoy it. Not get so stressed by the little things. Don't sweat those things you cannot fix. We need to stay positive, right? Today I was on my way home. I was running late. I needed gas. I almost ran out of gas. And I get there and the road was blocked because of a big accident. And I had to turn around. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to run out of gas. And at the same time, you're thinking about those people that are in that bad accident. and you're hoping that they're okay. You're always trying to look for the positive and hope things are okay, even though, yes, it cost me a few more minutes of my time, but I wasn't the one that was in that accident. And it's so important to, like I said, to slow down and look for those things, and spend time with your family and friends and your loved ones. Find the people you want to surround yourself with, those positive people. Misery loves company, right? So if you're around that all the time, what's going to happen to your mental health? It's not going to be in a good place at all. So, because, and like I said, I was talking about stress. Stress really does cause premature aging. It is so important that we watch those stressors we are putting on ourselves. Stress all the time, what is that going to do? That is going to increase your risk for heart disease as well. Again, what's going to happen? You're going to either wind up in the doctor's office, the hospital, or definitely come see me at the pharmacy. So let's take those actions today to reduce our stress and not let that compound over time. Another thing that can age you quickly is smoking and a excessive amount of alcohol use. Those are things that can really age a person very quickly. Now, if you're like, oh, Amy, I like to have a glass of wine here or there, or beer, that's fine. But if you're drinking a case of beer at night or 2 bottles of wine at night, that's not where you want to be. Once in a while is fine. Remember, everything in moderation, except for when it comes to smoking, because that is something that people really don't do in moderation. And then it just becomes more and more and more and more. And that really ages a person very quickly. And a lot of it is going to be the hydration issue as well. Another thing we need to focus on is sleep. We need to get an adequate amount of sleep. We need that for our concentration. We need that for our health and wellness. A regular amount of sleep every night is going to decrease the risk of heart disease, stroke. It's going to decrease your stress because you're not tired and you're not edgy if you get enough sleep, right? It's going to decrease depression, and it's going to decrease the risk of obesity. If we can do all that, I think we can age gracefully. So it is so important. No, you cannot catch up on the weekend on sleep. I don't know why people say that. It's not possible, okay? Just get a consistent, preferably 8 hours every night, and try to keep a decent bedtime, because then you're going to get up nice and early and have a great day. So I encourage you guys to reach out to me. I've got a healthy living group, Facebook group, that I would love to put you in. I can expand more on these tips. I know I talked a little longer. I'm very passionate about these things, and I love to talk about different ways that we really can make those small changes to make big changes later on down the road. So reach out to me. I'll put you in the Facebook group. I will be expanding on these things and giving a little more tips to aging gracefully and how we can do it, and do some questions and answers as well. Thank you guys so much for watching.